This is the concierge, sir.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Concierge Confidential. I'm your host, Brian Ortega, and in today's episode, this has been going around, and I think it's funny because usually you see an article come out, and it has to do with, like, lifestyle, Vegas stuff, or just lifestyle stuff in general, and, like, it'll hit, like, maybe you'll click on it, and then maybe you'll, like, see one place you've been to. It's amazing. I don't know if it's, like, this episode's to give myself a pat on the back, or the fact that all these places are doing so well. It's probably both. But I'm going to actually be highlighting this new Forbes article that came out that said the 13 best new bars around Las Vegas. And I think it's really funny because the reason I'm talking about this is because, you know, I'm just looking and I follow a lot of places that I'll go to. And, like, I clicked to, like, 4 or 5 different places and I had been to them. So I thought it was so funny that, like, all these articles started coming out. It's the same article around this same thing, which is the best new bars. So I know you guys are going to be kind of barred out, but this is kind of probably be my last episode that centers around bars because I did go to a new one, which is really awesome. This has been a very, like, Vegas local pod the past couple weeks because I've been really trying different places. And honestly, like, you gotta go out. You gotta go off the strip to kind of find the new stuff. But I think it's really cool because they're really elevating themselves to really compete off the strip. So I'm really excited about it. So this is the 13 best new bars around Vegas. I'm not gonna go over all 13 because really I'm gonna be reviewing one of the ones that we're gonna highlight and kind of explain a couple of the places that are on the list as well. So kind of a fun episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So this is the reacting to the Forbes article of the 13 best new bars around Las Vegas. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So I'll put a link to this article in the description. But so I opened this up, right? And I'm just kind of going through it. And actually, the first one that I saw when I went through it, I'll just kind of list them all first, and then I'll do the review of the place I want to talk about, is I was kind of looking through, and then it was like White Whale, which I did that one like 2 weeks ago, and you can check out the video on Concierge Confidential _LV on Instagram. And they were voted for one of the best, not voted, they were chosen as one of the best new bars in town, which is really cool because, like, when I went, it was like, you know, not dead, but it was, you know, quieter just because it was like a Thursday. It wasn't a very popular day. And they end up on this article. And when you see the, like, actual other people that are other restaurants that they are like combined with, it's really cool. It's really good. It points to a really good direction for these guys. So White Whale is one of the ones I was like, oh, I've been there. And I didn't explain this when I was doing the pod, but I knew the cocktail servers, Daniel Yang and Evan Hoska, from one of them was from the Fountain Blue, Las Vegas, the Poodle Room, and then one also was from the Venetian Resort, a part of their bartender collective with this Sam Ross, which I am like, I've heard this name before, and it's cool to see that he's so influential for so many other people in town. He's a big deal. But White Whale ended up on this list. I was like, hey, I've been there. That's awesome. So really excited to sort of like see that pop up on the list. And then I just kept reading. And then, well, actually, that's not even a good way to say it. I wasn't keep reading. I literally scrolled down to the next restaurant or the next bar, and it was Nocturno. Nocturno popped up on the spot as well, which I didn't know that their like whole theme was Mexico City vibes, but I think it was generous for them to, you know, say that was the inspiration. But I could see it totally, and obviously it has a, you know, a Latin name, and then they also have like a cool like Panther like Mai Tai drink, which is cool. So I was really happy to see that they were also on this list because I was like, I go there all the time. And they just recently got nominated for a James Beard Award, which is really exciting for them. So I'm really happy that they saw that. And also she makes a note that Chaperone was on the thing. I love when Pink Pony Club comes on at Nocturno because they got like deep cut music in Nocturno. Like, it's not always my vibe, the music, but when it does hit, it hits right. And then another one that popped up on the list, which is kind of cool, was the Peacock Alley and Hard Shake, which Hard Shake, again, a video that I just did recently, and they highlighted it, which I think is rightfully so. It's a beautiful bar. It's so, so nice on the inside. And honestly, like, putting these places on here, this happens all the time, makes me like really want to like follow this writer because I think she's done a good job. Like the thing is about Vegas writers who do reviews on restaurants and bars in Las Vegas, a lot of it is, marketing, like a lot of times, and PR. So they get influenced a lot by like the restaurateurs sometimes, Open Table, Yelp, that kind of thing. And I think she picked some really good spots on here that I think she actually went to, obviously, and has a good mix in here. I think a really, really good mix. And I think she tried to spice in some, off-strip properties. But I think she did a really good job of doing like Main Street, which I think that is the most exciting place for cocktails right now in Vegas. Like if you're a serious cocktail drinker, you can't include this list if you don't include bars from that area. And then also she included places that were on the Strip, which I totally agreed with. One that I really want to go to, but I just have not found the time to go to it. And then she got like 2 off the Strip, which I think is completely fine because going off the Strip to try to find places that, you would say this about somebody, it's pretty hard. Like one of them was the Durango and the other one was somewhere in Summerlin. So yeah, those are kind of what it is. But another one that I have not reviewed on here, and I think this place is okay. I think they're fine. I think to me, they're honestly just an elevated casino bar, and that is the B Bar at the Wynn. I've been in there a couple times. I do not like their old fashioned because they do not actually have a fresh orange peel. I absolutely hate dried fruit. And whenever you put dried anything in my cocktail, I immediately don't like it. Like immediately, I just do not enjoy it at all. But it does say that they're known for their martinis, which I don't drink martinis in there, so I would have never thought to order one. But now maybe that would be the way to go, is to order a martini at the B Bar. But I do have to say that the B Bar at the Wynn is actually a great place to people watch. It's a really great energy, really fantastic energy inside of that bar. And I think it's a really great place to, stop, maybe have one cocktail, maybe watch the world go by, see who comes in and out. I think it's actually like modeled to be like that. And good seating. All the fixtures are fantastic. Not bad. I think it's really, really cool. But another one they also highlighted is Close Company, which is at the Venetian, which is a speakeasy, which is, it doesn't say it's a speakeasy, but like it kind of is because it's really hard to find. It's inside the food court there, and I'm really excited to see about trying it because I think it's would be very interesting. But another one is the Click Bar at the Cosmopolitan. Not a fan of the Click Bar. Click Group is a very large like bar and lounge group in Las Vegas, and I think they do a pretty decent job, but a lot of the things that they do are, like higher end reservation style, and I think they do that well, but I don't like it. I don't like, I'm not always a big fan of Click's sort of like bar mentality, their lounge mentality and their sort of culture. So I'm not a huge fan of the Click brand in terms of their like bar menus and that kind of thing. It feels very like corporatized luxury, if you will. So La Spritz is another one on there. Never been to it. It looks like that's at the Resorts World. Never been to La Spritz. It's a Spritz bar. And then Ada's, which that's also in the Arts District, which I've never been there either. So can't talk about those. But the number one that was actually on top of the list when I was actually clicking through here, and it was a picture that was very familiar to me because I had just been there. And that is the, if you followed us, it is the Viking Mike's Alpine Yurt bar, which this place, I saw it pop up on like TikTok or Instagram or something, but it hasn't had like the full like influencer blitz yet. Like they've only had like maybe 1 or 2 people in, and they aren't really like the big ones. And I decided I had to go check this place out. That was really going to be really cool. And this place blew me away. So this place is located on Main Street, just off of Las Vegas Boulevard, and it really snuck up on me. Like it's actually very close to the Cosmic Golf place, and next to like the old Wise Guys Comedy Club. Out of nowhere, it's on the corner of like a shopping, like kind of an old school street. Got to park across the street. Walked in, parking, was fine. But man, this place, so detailed, and it really had the like sensibility of, Scandinavian, Nordic sensibilities and style. Like, very quiet, very precise, but like kind of, casual. And I just really loved it. It was such a unique and fun experience. And again, this is like super Las Vegas locally, although it's like very doable to get there. And the people that I actually heard that were in there were actually staying on the Strip. They were staying at the New York. And one of the best things that I can say that this place has going for it is that it's like nothing I've ever been to ever in Las Vegas. Like there's no replication of what this is. It's unbelievable. So I know I'm giving it like a lot of flowers, but it's so cool. So you walk in, and then you walk into this like this room, sort of like a mud room, which has like all these antlers and like all these like lights, these like moody lights, and then you go into the actual bar itself, which is just sort of like a normal bar, sort of like an old school, just like regular L-shaped bar, pretty long, vibes. But then like you keep walking towards the back because that's kind of like the showstopper. And it's a yurt. It's an actual yurt that was built, which those of you not familiar with yurts, I actually sat next to a guy who was there who used to build yurts, which was so cool. He didn't work there. So it was like one of those fun things where it's like you're getting an education on something that from somebody who doesn't have any financial interest in this at all. So I get in there, and it's all wood, and everything is so deliberate, so quiet, but like very casual. Like no one's like screaming and yelling. It's a very mature place. Like the music is very, very much at like a very doable level. Perfect mood for a date. It's like a fantastic date spot. The food itself is very specific in terms of, but it's not though. They actually had like really doable things in the menu. Like I got the bratwurst, which I'm not a huge fan of the bratwurst, but they actually like told me that they were really proud of like their sausage program. Like it's all like hand done sausage. And how can you say no to that? Like you want to try it. It just looks so good. And I think it was actually pretty mild. I've actually had bratwurst that's like a little bit on the spicy side, and I kind of didn't like it. But this one was good. And so this is the experience. Like you walk in, and it's like, hey, how's it going? You go in, and then you go to the big bar, and it just sort of opens up, and it's massive. It's massive for the space that it's in. It's like basically the side of a strip mall. This all was newly built. So basically the square part of the bar, it was there originally. And then everything where the yurt is, the big giant circle, was built brand new. Like they built it themselves for this specific reason. And it's so deliberate. Like it's so audacious to do that in that space. And so much detail goes into it. And you got to know who you are. And I think that's one note that I would give any bar or restaurant on the Strip or really anywhere in town is that these like new restaurateurs or these young restaurateurs that venture off the Strip to build their own space, the reason they're successful in doing that and the ones who stay successful is that they are very deliberate and very focused on what they want. And I think you could say that about anybody who's successful in the food and beverage industry. And you need a little bit of luck too. But I think this place knows what it wants to be. It goes out there and executes it at the highest of levels and gets people that are bought into this particular style of bartending and hospitality. And it totally works. It's so cool. And again, like they're going to work out any kinks they might have, but like the menu itself was just so much fun. It was a winter solstice menu, so it's actually seasonal, which is actually like a really popular thing in like Scandinavian culture. I watched a couple documentaries on Noma, which is the #1 restaurant in the world, which is located in Denmark, which is not, it's part of Scandinavia, sort of, that sort of Nordic area, but it's not, it's not Swedish. Like there's nothing is like Swedish or from Norwegian, or Finland. It doesn't have any of that, like anything specific place. It's sort of that region of the world. But what I've learned about, through Noma and then also just other documentaries about that part of the world is that because they have such a long winter, is that so many things are based on the seasons, and they're like foragers, and they make what is in season at that time. And I think that's so cool. Noma does like no meat, which is like, I don't know about that, but I'm not trying to eat anything here. Just trying to drink. But they had so many things on the menu. And I consider myself somebody who's tried a lot of cocktails where I had no idea what they were like, what was written. I was like, I don't know what this is. And I think a really smart thing on their menu is they have what they want to make, like, their signature cocktails. And then to the right of it, they actually have it outlined like this is an old fashioned, this is a gimlet, this is a Manhattan, this is a Negroni. And that's really helpful as a guide for somebody who doesn't like know what they're looking for. Because if I see old fashioned, I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna try that because I think it's gonna be close to what it is. And it's like similar, but it was totally different. So I ended up going and I had the let's go pick a pair or something like that. And it was so like mellow and warm and felt like something you would drink on like a really cold night. So that was fantastic. So when I walked in, you actually get a complimentary cocktail, which is non-alcoholic, and it's like it has like sort of this like apricot kind of like taste to it. And I'm reading this without notes, so I'm kind of just remembering it. And it's really good. And then they also give you like these glasses that feel like they're out of like Game of Thrones, so that's really fun. Like this steel, which is cool. So I had that, and then I ended up having, the old-fashioned cocktail, which was very delicious. It was, very mellow, very balanced, very delicious. And the pear was edible. And then I ended up having a bratwurst, which the bratwurst was good. Came with a bunch of little like things to like put on the bratwurst. Like I think it had little things of onion. They also had, homemade mustard and ketchup, and they had little pickles, little crostinis that were really good to go with the bratwurst. Delicious. And then when I was sitting there, I saw these people next to me. They ended up getting this like steak on a stick. Oh, the steak on the stick looked so freaking good. Like I was so mad that I didn't get that because it was cooked to perfection. It looked so good. So I was a little bit irritated that I didn't do that. But also, this place, I didn't get this time. They do serve mead, which is a like honey wine or a honey liqueur, honey wine, which I actually was able to sample just a little bit. And it was so good and unique and interesting. And like I've never met any place that serves mead. So if you're trying to go here to get the mead can be kind of pricey, is from what the looks of it. I couldn't figure out what the prices were, but the big giant ones were like $80 or $60. But I think that was for like a 700 milliliter thing of it. So I think the smaller ones are very doable. But I ended up I needed to get stuff for content, so I ended up getting their Michael Thai, which was a like a tiki drink, and it came in like a Viking tiki. It looked like a big Viking guy, and if you see on the Instagram page, that's the thing, is like the poster. And it was very interesting. It was actually cool because the drink got different as you drank more of it. So like at the very beginning of the drink, like right when you drank it, it has a lot of like tequila and rum hints. It's very spirit forward. And then it's served with like this sage on top of it, which was, quite good. But as you drink further down, you actually started to taste more of a tropical fruity flavor, which was interesting that like as you drink further down, because it usually gets, watered down a little bit. But it was interesting how the drink actually had a lot of layers to it. So it was really, really good. I tend not to drink the entire Mai Tais because they can give you like super headaches because it's a lot of sugar. So I ended there. And then from there, I ended up going and getting their dessert cocktail, which was like a mixture between brandy and cream, and that's called the Alexander Skarsgård, and that's sort of like a sweet treat. And I have fallen in love with cream cocktails. If you have cream in a cocktail, oh my goodness, I'm sold. It was so delicious, and everything felt, besides the Mai Tai, because that's sort of like I think they're every season. Everything felt very warm and very focused on the time of the year that it was. And I found this out by going to Nocturno, a bar after that, because I wanted to sort of debrief. And they told me that when you walk into Viking Mike's Alpine Yurt, is that little room you go into that actually has all of the antlers in it is actually refrigerated. So they actually pump it to be cold on the inside so that when you walk into the actual yurt itself, that it sort of transports you into that space of being like in, Sweden, where it's cold outside and you go in and it's all this warmth. And that's exactly what it felt like. Like, just not just temperature wise, but the actual feeling felt very warm. Like, all of the staff was, very inviting and great hospitality. And I think that speaks so much for, like, the culture and that kind of thing. Really, really deliberate. I thought that was fantastic. And you've got I saw a lot of couples in there. I saw a lot of people, like, experiencing it for the first time because it's only been open for about 6 weeks. But I just couldn't get over how beautiful this bar was. Like, you're going to come and you want to see, like, the bar itself. It's just transportive. But you're definitely going to be ordering cocktails that you've never heard of before. And I think you're going to enjoy them. They're really good at explaining what they are. They're really passionate about sort of the education of, Scandinavian cocktail making. And they do have a lot of cocktails or a lot of spirits that are very, straightforward, like you've seen them before. Like, they had a Old Fitzgerald. They had, what else did they have? They had, Michter's. They had, regular, spirits, Grey Goose, that kind of thing. But you're really not going there to order your regular old fashioned. Like, you're going there to experience the menu. So I couldn't classify like a type of person that went in here. Like, I was sitting there thinking, like, who comes in here? Like, is it industry people? Is it, people on dates? Like, who comes into this place? And I think it's just sort of like unwritten at this moment. I think you don't know. Like, Nocturno is one, like, I'm going to use Nocturno as the example. So Nocturno is very much like an industry bar. Like, you're going to go in there and you're going to get lots of bartenders, lots of cocktail servers, lots of people who, like, work in the industry. I've met so many people who I've actually seen at other bars. Like, I've actually seen them on the strip working at those bars, and they end up at Nocturno. And I think that's because it's sort of like a local watering hole where you also get, like, an education on what's going on, and they can make kind of whatever you want, and they're knowledgeable of all the classic spirits. And that's that type of bar. Lots of industry people. It's, like, kind of rare that I see somebody that's in there that doesn't work as, like, an influencer, and not in a bad way, but like an influencer or, a bartender. It's kind of rare. Like, you can pick out the people or who've worked in the industry. So very much Nocturnal industry bar. But this place didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like a lot of, former bartenders. It felt very neighborhoodly. Like, people from the neighborhood would have walked in there just to have, a quick cocktail and gone home. And that's, or like a date. This is, like, very, like, much a date spot. Just perfect vibes for it. But I've gone on long enough about Viking Mike's Alpine bar, and it's awesome. If you want to do something local, this place is so cool. I really loved it. So that's great. But before I let you guys get out of here, oh my goodness, it's been 23 minutes. Before I let you guys get out of here, I really think it's interesting to see how kind of trendy the bar scene is, where I think it's really important that regardless of what you are, that you have a tiki drink. I think, like, if you're going to call yourself a real cocktail bar, or if you want to, be a local one, you have to have at least one tiki drink on the menu and have a really awesome glass for it. Because the last 2 bars I've gone to, I've bought a tiki drink for the content because it looks cool. So for those of you that are thinking about opening up bars in Las Vegas, I think you definitely, one, should know how to make a cocktail, but also add a tiki drink in some fashion to your menu. And that's probably the one drink where the glass is probably more important than the drink itself, like the actual vessel. Because I don't know anybody who drinks the entire tiki Mai Tai, but have some type of tiki drink, and I think you'll knock it out of the park. Any other trends? Not really, to be honest. Lots of classic cocktails are coming back. That's kind of a big deal. People aren't drinking beer anymore, but they will still drink spirits. And honestly, every place, non-alcoholic drinks. That used to be like a thing of like kind of taboo. It's like, oh, like who orders like a non-alcoholic? But every single bar on the Strip that I've ever been to, especially in restaurants, has one, probably three non-alcoholic beverages. Mocktails, if you will. So, short episode this week. I know it was kind of just like sort of reacting to the Forbes thing, but I think there's actually some really good things in that list. I'll try to incorporate it into the description at the bottom. But make sure you check out our latest video on YouTube, which is highlighting the Super Bowl and all the different places you can watch the big game in Las Vegas. And obviously, it just focuses on the ones that I really like, and also some other ones that is very popular with the public, and threw some pricing in there as well. So hopefully you find that interesting. And make sure to check out conciergeconfidential_LV on Instagram, because we did just put up a video for Viking Mike's Alpine Yurt bar. I'm really proud of it. I think it looks really, really great. And some of them look better than others, but I think this one really came together nicely. So make sure you check that out as well. And also give us a follow as well. Give us a follow, rate us, leave a review, anything. It's great. I always love it when I can, see that, and it's very appreciative. So thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll be back next week with another episode. Don't know what we're talking about yet. We'll try to figure out something over the weekend. But other than that, thank you so much. If you see me out in town, come up and say hello. But remember, keep it confidential.